Hi guys, welcome to Richard in the Kitchen tonight. Tonight I'm going to be making up a specialty dish right out of Toronto, Canada. It's a Peameal bacon sandwich, but I've kind of put a little spin on it. I'm going to call it a Peameal bacon slider. Man, I tell you what, it's easy to do. It takes a little bit of time to cure and brine this pork loin, but come along with me, I'll show you how to do that, so let's get started. Now what I've got here is 1 pound of center cut pork loin. You can get this just about anywhere, and that's what we're going to be brining today. Now you can adjust the measurements that you're going to use in order to cure and brine this pork. You'll just have to figure that out as you go along. So let's set our pork aside and let's get started with what you're going to need to make this work. I've got, for 1 pound, I've got 4 cups of cold water. Now you can use maple syrup. The normal recipe calls for the 1 pound is about 1/4 cup of maple syrup. The real maple syrup, not the table syrup. Get the pure maple syrup. If you don't have none of that, you can use brown sugar. I'm using dark brown sugar. I'm using 1/4 cup. We're going to throw that in our water, and then we're going to put some coarse salt. Now you can get this salt at Walmart. It's called a pickling or brining salt. You can use kosher salt if you don't have that. Just make sure it doesn't have iodine in it. So we'll throw that in the mix. We're also going to use some curing salt. Now you can get this at most of your meat markets. I shopped around at Walmart, and they don't have it. Most of your grocery stores don't have it. You can get it online. It's actually called a number of things. DC #1 pink curing salt. This is actually something that I picked up at my meat market, and you just throw that in there, and like I said, you have to measure this out. Be careful with that because it's very potent. And some black peppercorn that I've got in there, and that's just about a teaspoon. So you give this a good mix and try to get it absorbed and dissolved as much as you can before we add our meat to our little pan that we're going to do this with. If you like bacon, I tell you what, you're going to love this. This is just absolutely wonderful. So get a container that's big enough to hold your 4 cups of water, and then we'll take our pork and we'll just place that down in there. Make sure it covers it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to refrigerate this for 5 to 7 days to give this pork time to cure. And after that, what we're going to do is we're basically going to roll it in cornmeal. We're going to fry it up and make a sandwich out of it. Man, I tell you what, it's good stuff. If you ain't never had a Peameal bacon sandwich, I tell you what, you're missing something, because this stuff is absolutely great. It originated out of Canada, Toronto, Canada, and the U.S. markets, they call it something different. They call it Canadian bacon. But the difference between Canadian bacon and Peameal bacon is Canadian bacon is smoked. This is not. This is cured for an extended period of time before you fry it up. And even after you get it cured, you can even freeze it and have it for another time. So let's get this in the fridge to cure for about 5 days or so, and then I'll show you what to do next. Our Peameal bacon has been curing in this brine for about 6 days. We're going to set it on a cutting board of multiple paper towels. We'll take some more, and we want to pat it dry. Man, this is going to be so good. If you've never had Peameal bacon, man, I'll tell you what. Alright, once we pat this dry, we'll set our bacon aside to come to room temperature, and I'll start cutting up my veggies and prepare our buns. But since we're having sliders, I'm going to square up our buns. Just take a good serrated cutter knife there and square these up. I keep my buns and my bread in the refrigerator. Stays fresh for months actually. Alright, we'll give that to the dog. Not. Anyway, that's what you're looking for. Just kind of square up your regular hamburger buns and that'll give you a perfect slider bun. There's no need to buy what they call a slider bun. Okay, let's start our skillet and let's get our bacon to cooking. While we're waiting on our skillet to come to temperature, one of the key things about Peameal bacon is give it a good roll in cornmeal. Now the traditional Peameal bacon is used with, they kind of coat it with yellow corn, but I think even in Canada now, in Toronto, they've gone to doing just standard cornmeal. So you just give that a good coat, and what we'll do is we'll start cutting up our bacon into slices. Now I'm going to have a lot of this to put in the freezer, and any time that I want some Peameal bacon, either for breakfast or whatever, I'll have it. So basically, about 1/4 inch slices. You just cut this like that. Man, this is going to be so good. Cut it into slices, and we'll roll that in some cornmeal once we get our slices done. Man, don't that smell good. Okay, we'll set this aside. Now, next thing you want to do is just kind of give it a dip in some cornmeal. Not much, just a light dusting. And while we're waiting on our skillet to come to temperature, we'll get ready to fry this up. Man, I can't wait to eat this. This smells so good. Now what I'm going to do with this, like I said, is I'm going to freeze this, and anytime I want to eat it, I'll cut me off a couple slices and we'll just have us some Peameal bacon anytime I want. Alright, we're ready to fry up our Peameal bacon. What you want to do is just put a pat of butter in your hot skillet. Let that melt down pretty well. And we're going to toast our buns, our slider buns. Just kind of put it on there, give it a little twist. Man, look at that. Nothing like buttered toasted buns. And I'm also, on the top bun, I'm going to get them a little wet with that butter, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit them with some poppy seeds. Poppy seed sliders. How about that? Man. And we'll give that a little time to toast up, and we'll take those off and we'll fry our bacon. Buns are toasted up. It's kind of what you're looking for right there. Set our buns off to the side. We'll get ready to fry this bacon up and make this place smell so good. Alright, I've got this on about medium heat. We'll go ahead and put our Peameal bacon in the skillet and give that a chance to fry up in that butter. Man, I tell you what, don't that look good? So Peameal bacon's done. Look at that. Don't that look good? We'll go ahead and start putting it on our slider buns. Excuse me a second, take the skillet off. Alright, let's start building this thing. We'll hit these buns with a little mustard, which is a traditional thing for the Peameal bacon sandwich. Lay the cheese over this hot pork. Let it start melting. Take you a couple of red onions, lay that on there. Lettuce. Man. How about that? A mater. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and set this down on here. Look at that. Peameal bacon sliders. Man, I'll tell you what. Let's give this a taste test. I can't wait to bite into that. Right. Look at this. Peameal bacon slider. I cracked myself up. That's so good. If y'all get a chance to do this and you've got about a week to cure and brine your pork loin, center cut pork loin, do this. I guarantee you. It doesn't take long to cook it once you get it cured and brined. But I tell you what, it's worth it. Till next time, guys, give this a try and don't forget to be nice to everybody. Bye, y'all.